Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to another edition. So, as a follow-up video to my last one, um, this is going to be more of an example than just an explanation, although with a little bit of explanation mixed in. So, I've already shuffled up my deck. I have my extra deck ready. So we're going to go ahead and draw. Ooh, good. All right. And if you haven't figured out, this is one of my favorite archetypes that I've ever picked up. Is my TGs. And we're going to say that I'm going to go second. So just my opponent say they just set a defense. Draw my 6th card. Awesome. Alright. So, in this case, this is actually a really good hand. This actually happens quite often, and usually with a variation of either like a tank grub or something like that. But not much often. This deck is pretty consistent, actually, the way I've put it together. So I'm going to go ahead and start things off by playing my Cyber Magician. And then because, normal summoning, I could special summon my Werewolf. And then I control a TG, special summon my Drillfish. And then I'm going to just reduce my Werewolf by 1,000 to bring out my Gear Zombie. And just, go ahead and set this back row. Now, with the old rule, I would have to go into my Link monster. But we're not going to talk about that right now because we'll worry about that later. With the new rule being implemented, you can bring out Synchro monsters, Xyz monsters, and Fusion monsters without restriction. Basically kind of how it used to be. So now I'm going to go into a Synchro summon using my Cyber Magician and using my Rush Rhino from my hand. To go into my TG Hyper Librarian. Next, I'm going to go into another 5 using my Drillfish, non-tuner, Werewolf, non-tuner, and my Gear Zombie, who is a tuner. So I can draw, or play. Ooh, my Star Guardian. And then Hyper Librarian allows me to draw. Good card. And then I special summon one back from my grave. So I think I'm going to go ahead and bring back my Drillfish. Why? And the reason why is because of his simple effect. If all my monsters I control are TG, minimal 1, special summon him, but when a TG monster I control inflicts damage to my opponent, I can target what monster my opponent controls and destroy it. It's his first effect, though, that goes with that. He can attack directly. So when he attacks directly and does damage, then I can destroy a monster. They only have a defense, so do that. And basically, I don't need my Link monster in order to have multiple synchros on the field anymore. And, I mean, attack, destroy their monster, and then free to attack with that. Let's say I want to bring that out in defense. And just so you know, his effect is it would add to my hand, and then during my main phase, I can special summon. So, just so you know about that. Before, I would have had to have gone into this guy, which then, it would have been a whole nother mess. I mean, with these TGs, I'll probably still go into this particular one, just because it allows me to special summon a TG from my deck, which usually I would end up bringing out my TG Screw Serpent, which allows me to special summon one TG monster back from my grave. Level 4 or lower, to be exact. But problem is this, with these, you were limited before to the amount of arrows you had. If you only had one arrow, you would still only be able to have one other extra deck monster that it pointed to. So it was just a headache. Whereas now, without this, I'm back to the way it used to be. Of you could have multiple. I could have a whole field if I wanted. Say I ended my turn and it came back to their turn. They attacked. I activate this guy here. When an opponent's monster declares attack, negate the attack, and then special summon a TG monster from my hand or deck. You know, and then I could sit here and here he is right here. Good. Special summon out him from the deck, you know, and then with his effect would allow me to special summon one back from my grave. So I'm gonna go ahead and just bring back my Gear Zombie. You know, and then, you know, it comes back to my turn here. Cool. I could go into another Synchro Summon just like that. You know, go into another 5. And I'm not restricted to what zone he can go into. You know, just, here you go. So I want to, actually, not Magical Android. I'll do a Power Gladiator. You know, once again, I could put him all the way over there if I wanted. He's not limited. You know, draw another card. Bam. You know? And now I could go into another Synchro Summon right here. Just boom. And I'm going to go ahead and bring on out my Blade Blaster over there. I could have them that far apart because I'm not limited to the Link Monster rule anymore. Before, you had to keep them in a clustered little area because the arrows were only limited to 3 zones at most.